Omicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you so much. Good to be here for another episode edition. I try to say those two words at the same time.
Epedition.
So, yeah, epedition. New word. Huzzah.
It's a perfectly reasonable way to say it.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
As long as reasonable is in our pronunciation dictionary, then I think everything goes, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm being distracted. I just got a text message about something being delivered, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And I went to check the tracking link, and I bought some stuff just at the end of last year, and I'm like, on Amazon, but I forgot to update my address on my Amazon shipping details. So I'm like, crap, cancel all these orders, like 6 orders. And
no.
4 of them canceled. The other 2, I had to like send an email to the vendor, and they were like, yeah, we'll cancel them, and just like, you're gonna rebuy them and ship them to your new address. That's fine, we'll cancel. They didn't.
The worst part too, like if they were just like, nah, you're out, man, that'd be one thing. But they're like, yeah, sure, we'll do it, and then they just don't do it. Then that's worse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta go drive to the post office near my old place to pick up this item because it's sitting around there.
I mean, yeah, could be worse, I guess. Could just be
worse.
gone forever.
Right, they could have left it on the porch, and there's no one living in that address, and it just sat there, like out the front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking a possibility would be. So, good. I'm glad that didn't happen to you. Wonderful news.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah. So we keep being super cold and snowy here, as winter should be. It's been, very wintry.
It's hot and humid, and it was pissing down rain earlier, and that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it cool it off a little bit, or just make it crazy humid?
Just crazy humid.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
It's like you take a shower and you walk outside and you're like, oh, sweaty and gross again instantly. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's 100% what happened.
Yeah. I haven't lived in many places or stayed many places where it's super humid, but every time I visit one, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what it's like. I remember now.
Oh, yeah, this is the worst feeling in the world.
I mean, I don't hate it is the thing. It's uncomfortable. But it's definitely like this omnipresent sense of just like, bleh.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, get me out of it now. It's just whatever. I can handle it. I'd rather have that than be in like below freezing weather, I think, if I have to be outside. That's my opinion.
Sure, but the problem with humidity is it seeps inside, right? Like, if it's freezing weather outside, you can just, like, get a blanket and turn the heater on. It's fine. Oh, Jesus, there's a new hashtag trending in Australia I just saw on Twitter.
Oh, no.
Which puts it even closer to my name.
You and Omicron, you guys are having problems with this latest variant, huh?
Yeah, we're up to, I think we had 31,000 cases in the last 24 hours.
Excellent, very good.
Wonderful. So, Scomicron is the new hashtag in, I assume it's honor of our Prime Minister, ScoMo.
Okay.
But, boy, do I not like that.
And you glance at that and you're like, oh yeah, wait, what is this? Mm-hmm. What are these shenanigans?
2 things I don't want to be confused with.
Right.
Yeah.
Just in one word. How efficient is that?
Yeah.
Somebody was like, man, I hate that Omicron guy. What can we do to really get under his skin?
Yep.
What's the most efficient way we can pull this off? And bam, really smart, honestly. You got to tip your hats to these guys.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so you're saying you'd rather be in below freezing weather outdoors than be in humid weather outdoors. Okay.
No.
All right.
if I'm
Okay.
outdoors, right, I would rather it be
Yeah.
humid, right?
Yes. All right. All right.
But the
Fair.
issue with the humidity I have is that it's not limited to outdoors.
If you have air conditioning, it sure is.
Yeah, I have air conditioning. You can't see it, but it's behind me and it's running, and
It doesn't work.
it does work. It's just mostly
Oh,
for heat, not humidity.
I wait
It's
a
not a
second.
it's not
Really?
yeah. Just cools the air,
Air
doesn't
conditioning.
dehumidify it.
Well, but I thought it.
Don't get me wrong. When the air's colder, it helps. Like I'm not saying there
Yeah.
isn't an effect.
So the Google says humidity affects air conditioning negatively because it cancels out the cooling effect to some extent.
Yeah, but the
If humidity is
cooling.
too high, then your home feels warmer than it actually is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
All right. I
Yep.
learned something. Good to know.
Uh,
All right.
Gonna have to rebrand as an
Well,
educational podcast.
I know. You totally should.
I'm not supposed to learn thing here. That'd be
We'd get put on the
ridiculous.
front page for sure of Twitch once we did that. Educational streams are all their age, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
All right. Man. All right. So I spent the last 2 days just binging Arcane on Netflix.
Okay. I hear it's good.
Oh, so okay. So the story of Arcane is as follows: League of Legends, like Riot, the game, Riot Games, who makes League of Legends, which is the cancerous video game that everybody makes fun of on the internet, and
Uh huh.
like I played for 20 minutes once and was like, eh, and never went back to it. Right?
Right.
Uh, they're like, we're gonna make a Netflix show, and I was like, what? This makes no sense. You're a video game company. You can't write worth beans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so RJB comes into the server and he's like, I was expecting bad writing because that's what we get from Riot Games is they don't care about writing
No.
in their video games. They care about the video games, which is normal for video games, but some do care about writing anyway.
On occasion.
On occasion.
Mhm.
Right. And then I don't know. I would watch a documentary on the making of this show because so many things just went perfectly correct for them.
Oh, really?
Like, number one, the writing is good. Like the character building and the character development and suspense and intrigue, and that you care about these characters in a way that you would never expect when you go into a League of Legends TV show.
Right.
Where did they find these people? Who did they hire to write for them? Because they're really good. It reminds me of that one lady that the Halo was like, hey, come write a trilogy for us, lady. And she was like, okay. And it's the best Halo trilogy in the history of the books because she's just really talented. Yeah, the trilogy that I read, Karen, right?
Yeah.
She's fantastic. It's just like that. It's just like they said, okay, we're just going to find incredibly talented television writers and get them to do our thing, even if they have no connection to League of Legends. It doesn't matter, and they're correct. It's so true. It doesn't matter. You don't have to get people who care about your universe to write well for it. Good writers can write well. It doesn't mean they will. It doesn't mean they will do a good job, but it doesn't have to be somebody who's a huge fan. So that's another thing. Number two, the animation is so good. Again, I think I looked into this. I think it's a French animation company. Sure. Okay. Those guys. That country, right? But
Sure.
the amount of detail and passion and like how much effort went into every frame of animation in this show is knocking my socks off. Who does that? Who's like, well, we've been hired to do a TV show for League of Legends. Let's make it our masterwork, the best thing we've ever done in our entire lives. Who? How did they do this? How do they pull this off? It's so good. The facial animation. Sorry, you go ahead. I'll stop ranting for a second. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say they also did the animation for KDA Pop Stars. Like the League of Legends had like a K-pop music video come out featuring some of their characters or something that was very well received. And so I think proof of past performance let Riot take their infinite sum of money and throw it at them, right?
Yes.
And so I think what this says is animators want to do good work, and if you give them the budget to do it, they will.
Budget and time, right? It's got to be both.
Yeah,
I really think they gave them enough time to obsess over this to the level they did, because Just every shot. I don't know how they did it, man. The facial animation, I was like, are they using mocap? Nope.
No.
No motion capture. It's just animating facial expressions in maybe the best way I've ever seen. You can feel it.
Mm.
And I just, the way they, I don't know, it's just super good. And they don't talk down to the audience. There's a lot of time the show's like, I need you to pay attention to this. We're not going to say anything. There will
Mm.
be no words. There's going to be no explosions, no fighting. Something quiet's going to happen here. And somebody not saying something means everything in this scene. And they're just like, you just pick up on that. You just go. We trust you. And it's so smart and it's so good. Oh my gosh. So,
Definitely
yep,
recommend.
it is a super recommend.
Okay.
They
Should
do
I?
kind of cheat it. They cheat at the beginning. No, you
Mm.
ask your question. Go ahead.
Oh, should I bump it up in the queue of like above Witcher?
Yes, I would honestly.
Ooh, okay. That's strong
Yeah.
recommendations. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I mean, Witcher season 2 is good. I enjoyed it. I did. But
Mhm.
I mean, but Arcane, I am blown away at the amount of everything behind it. So yeah, they kind of cheated in the beginning because they're like, hey, here are these really lovable street kids, right? Who are just
Mhm.
trying to get by and they're plucky, and it's like, oh, these kids. So
Mhm.
you're immediately invested in this whole thing, right?
Right.
Um, and like I don't want to spoil anything in particular, but like characters die in this show
Ooh.
that are not telegraphed as like expendable throwaway characters, right?
Right. They're not wearing red shirts on the Enterprise or anything.
Exactly. These are
Right.
characters that they spend time developing and making you love and giving them flaws and real backstories and everything, and then they kill them. And it's like, okay, this is Game of Thrones level stuff here.
Yeah, something's got to be.
Which is it's a rough comparison
Yeah.
to make at this point.
It's really good
And to
now,
be
but wait 8 years and it's going to be shit.
well, that's the thing, is I haven't finished the season yet. So can they stick the landing?
Can they stick the landing? That's an interesting
That's the
question.
hardest thing to do here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the music the music is insanely good too. I don't know how. Is it just money and time? Riot was just like
Well,
music, art, voice acting, everything, animation. We're just going to give you as much money as you ask for. We're going to give you as much time as you need. Make it work. And then they left them alone for 4 years, right? And this is what we got.
right.
It really feels like that.
I mean, I assume there's some level of talent at some level. Like, you can't just be like, Riot couldn't give me 4 years and an unlimited budget to make this. I don't think I could.
Right. No, sorry. Right. And yes. And I'm sorry. I am underrepresenting the amount of talent that the people who did this is. They found talented people and gave them a bunch of money and gave them a bunch of time. And I think left them alone. And it's great.
It's paid off. It's paid dividends.
Oh, man. Yeah. And I really hope that more, I don't know, just more creativity is done that way. Like more TV studios, especially, just look at this and say, okay, it's not going to be fast, but holy smokes, the end result is going to be amazing.
Well, the interesting thing
I don't
is
know.
the why of it. It's like,
Yes.
this doesn't sell copies of League of Legends to anyone, right? Like,
No.
League of
Like,
Legends
I
got a
love this.
billion
I'm not
players.
playing League of Legends. I'm not
Right.
installing League of Legends because of this show. Right.
Right, exactly. A billion people have played League of Legends, and the ones who like it or are like so masochistic that they keep playing it anyway, right?
Yes.
They're already doing it. So
Yeah.
is it just to say we have like a top-rated TV show? Like they just want the accolade?
It's just ego.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Instead of like Russian oligarchs owning football teams or whatever anymore, it's going to be video game companies being like, yeah, we have the top 5 rated TV shows on Netflix. Fucking come at me, bro.
Right. Instead of spending $20 billion on a soccer team, they spend $20 billion on a TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 100%, by the way.
Yeah. I am not misleading you with this. I don't think it has been so well received. And again, it's League of Legends.
Right.
Nobody in the world was like, "Ooh, a League of Legends show on Netflix. I'm gonna block out some time to watch this over Christmas." Nobody did that. Nobody. Maybe a couple League of Legends fans were like, "Oh, okay, cool, let's check it out." And they're like, "This is really good." And then it spreads word of mouth from there, right?
Right.
This did not have a ready-made audience ready to go nuts on this thing.
So does this make it technically the best ever video game, movie, or TV show ever? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
It honestly very well could be. Again, it needs to stick the ending.
Needs to stick the ending. So hold on, it's Netflix, but they're doing it. Have you just not watched to the end, or are they doing it episodic like releases?
No, they dumped them all, I think.
Okay.
Wait, I don't actually know. Either way, it's done. I didn't get around to it until yesterday.
Fair enough.
But I think it came out. Well, it wasn't weekly because it only came out in like mid-December,
Came
and
out
there's at
November
least
6th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. And RJB didn't even get around to mentioning it in the Discord until like December 23rd.
Okay.
So-
So December 26th, they released Act 1, which was 3 episodes, and then 13th, they released 3 more, 20th, 3 more. So yeah, it is finished, it seems. It was
Okay.
all out by like mid to end November, yeah.
It's kind of a new way of doing things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very middle
Netflix
ground
is-
between what you want and I want.
Right. Huh. Yeah. So, it is one of the more surprising things I've ever seen from TV before. It's just, this should not have worked under any circumstances. Or the most I would have expected from something like this, even knowing how much money Riot Games has, is like it's okay. It's like a C plus. Kind of cringy at parts, or like they're trying to make it too much like a video game, so it's weird,
Right.
Yeah, none of that stuff.
It's real good, turns out.
Yes, so good. So, you will talk about it once we're both done with it at some point, I assume.
Yeah, I will pump it up in the queue.
Cool.
What I want to do is compare this to Hammer and Bolter, which is a Warhammer animated show.
Oh, okay.
Which episodes were not dumped all at once. They're still slowly trickling out. They're exclusively on Warhammer TV, Games Workshop streaming service, because of course they want to have a streaming service.
Everyone does, yeah.
And it might be the worst show ever made.
Oh no. And you're like, I want to love it.
I want this to be good, but it's not. It's so not. I think I complained about it before, where they've literally taken like a PNG of a character and then just bob it up and down to be like it's walking.
Ooh, I mean, there could be a certain amount of like
charm to that.
Charm. That's fun. Like it's an interesting style.
Yeah,
but no, huh?
Like there's definitely ways that could work. It is absolutely not working for this because it also uses some 3D animation that also looks terrible and out of place. And it's like, oh well, we need to have 20 Space Marines walk across this field. Let's 3D model one and then just copy and paste it. And make them walk. It's got issues. It's got issues.
That's very, very sad. Yeah. So I had this discussion on a Brood War stream a couple weeks ago. Somebody was talking about Arcane, and just how great it is, and I was like, okay, it's like this is really putting this on my radar. Just randos, and there's like this are amazing, And they're like, well, and I don't know. It gives a lot of proof to the theory that the base of what you're developing, your fictional, your TV show, your movie on, it almost doesn't matter what it is. Like, if you made a list of things, we're going to make a Netflix TV show. Here's a list of things. I need to choose which ones are not going to work for Netflix TV. Right? You would have said League of Legends, like top 5 of all the things in the world.
It probably would have been a gimme, yeah.
Yeah, but it totally worked because the source material and the source doesn't matter.
Right.
Which kind of gives me hope for, I mean, we're never going to see it, but like a StarCraft movie or a StarCraft TV
No,
show
no, no, never
with,
happened.
and it's not going to happen, but it gives me hope that with this level of money and time and talent, you could throw a team at StarCraft and get something this good out of
Mm.
it.
I
It's
mean,
doable.
I think what really probably, without seeing it, of course, what really helps Arcane is that League of Legends typically has no story associated with it.
So they have lore,
They
which I
probably
didn't know.
they have lore, but it's like character descriptions or like comics or something that were
Yeah.
ancillary reading materials that you didn't actually need. Well, you don't need, of course. But
Right.
lore is
It's
not the
not in the
same as
game.
story, right? There's no narrative associated, really.
Right. It's not like something like The Last of Us that has a narrative established that you
Right.
follow in the game. League of
Right.
Legends is nothing like that, right?
So if we compare it to something like the World of Warcraft movie, which was middling at best,
Mm-hmm.
um, it looks great in a lot of scenes. Character design did really well. Music is fine, but there's a lot of things that you expect in a story like that because people know what story they're going to expect. Arcane, there is no expectations because there couldn't be.
Right. We
Yeah.
don't have a subreddit full of League of Legends fans who are like, they screwed up the story. They didn't
Right.
do it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cadgar doesn't even know create Gala. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's an excellent point. That is really good.
No.
Although I don't know, if somebody came in and did a StarCraft TV show and just didn't pay attention to the StarCraft 2 story, I don't think people would be that upset. It is not widely beloved by StarCraft fans.
I mean, that's true. I largely think the StarCraft 2 story is kind of meh at best in a lot of places.
Nobody's a StarCraft 2 story stan. Everybody's like,
Hold on. I'm gonna throw out an at here in your general chat and be like, who here likes StarCraft 2 story?
Okay.
Because I want to quick poll people. All right.
I'm just saying, I'm in a lot of StarCraft subreddits and a lot of StarCraft Discord servers, and anytime the story comes up, no one has ever been like, it is so good. You need to play StarCraft 2 for the story.
Right. No, of course I'm not. I'm not doubting that, but there are people I think who like it.
I think I disabled here.
Oh, did you?
Try pinging people with the StarCraft 2 tag. There's a StarCraft 2 tag, I think.
You gotta not disable StarCraft 2. Boop. There we go. That went.
There you go. That'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I disabled here and everyone like years ago.
Yeah, that's fair. Letting you all play all 3 races. No, that's wrong. That's a really dumb and backwards way of thinking it. The campaign was designed to let you play all 3 races. The story is separate from that. Like, they didn't craft a story to be like, all right, now that they've played Terran for 4 hours, we need to find a story narrative reason for you to swap. Like, I think that's just
right.
Something.
I agree. It's more involved than that.
It's
Hydro Wrangler says he's mad that Jim Raynor got turned into a simp, which is not really his fault. Zeratul was like, we can't let her die. And he's like, fine, I guess I trust you, ancient, wise Protoss who's 8,000 years older than I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I get that argument. If Raynor had just been like, oh, it's Sarah, I have to save her, I'd be like, but he was prepared to kill her. And then oh my gosh, Zeratul was like, we can't do it, man. We need her to save the universe. And he's like, fine, I guess I'll do that.
Well, it was like, I'm gonna kill her, and then he like, oh wait, there's a way to like de-zergify her. I'm gonna do that instead.
No, I don't think that's what it was. Zeratul shows up on his ship and goes, dude, we cannot kill Kerrigan. We need her because something really bad is coming. That's what it was.
But okay, so here's why the story is shit. Because we're already found like an issue where it's like, hey, we need to let her not die, and his excuse is like, what happens mechanically in the game is you go through and you find a way to de-zergify her, and then 4 seconds into HOTS, she re-zergifies herself.
Yes.
So it's like, okay,
It's very stupid.
could we not have just left her alone?
It really reminds me of Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, where like the first movie sets some stuff up and the second movie's like, nope, none of that matters. That's what happened. In the Wings of Liberty campaign, they're like, we fixed Kerrigan. She's Sarah now. And then instantly in Heart of the Storm, she's like, nope, Queen of Blades, let's go.
Queen of Blades all day.
Yeah. Like, but we did so much work. We killed so many people to save you. And then you saw it on the news. Meg said you were dead, and you're like, well, time to go back. Oh, it's so bad. It is so bad. There are things to complain about. I just think that Raynor didn't turn into a simp. And that is what happened. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, StarCraft 2 story, not great. But I think when you create a movie or TV show based on an existing property, there's an expectation to retell the narrative from the game, or at least something familiar within world, right?
Yeah.
Like a Lara Croft movie is about Lara Croft doing Tomb Raider-y things. It's not like,
which, by golly, that's what they've done. Yes.
Exactly, right? Like a Hitman movie is about a Hitman doing Hitman things.
Yeah.
But a game without story, like League of Legends, it's not like at any point do 10 people assemble, split into 2 teams of 5, and fight down 3 lanes, do they? Like, does that happen?
No.
No.
So, no. I don't know. I don't want to spoil much. They eventually get to points where I'm like, okay, this is something they're referencing from the video game. I'm not sure because I haven't played enough League of Legends to know for sure, but I'm fairly sure this is a little thing. But it takes a while.
Was it 5 people in group text complaining over who's taking mid and who's jungler? Or
No.
Stop taking my last hits.
And again, without being super into League of Legends, I can't tell you, but it really feels like it takes 4 episodes before they're like, here's game stuff.
Oh,
it's
okay.
really, really character driven and really, really story driven for a long time, which I think was the smart way to do it. Because if you just came in swinging with like, here's all the cool League of Legends weapons and characters and there's mobs and this is like, oh, okay, this is going to be stupid. But if they're like, this is a regular TV show with characters we're going to make you like, and regular TV stuff is going to happen to these characters, and then we're going to do some lull stuff, it hits different. It's much more effective.
I can see that. Yeah.
It's incredibly smart. Alchemy says, Wings of Liberty, considering they wanted people get into the story having played Brood War first, okay. But fuck the ending. Tychus did nothing wrong.
Accurate.
Fair. Heart of the Swarm, he doesn't remember anything that happened in it. Legacy of the Void was pretty good, except for the epilogue, which was dumb.
Right.
And yeah, fair enough.
Yep. All this seems reasonable.
Yeah, and again, I've never, ever in the history of being online and talking about StarCraft seen somebody be like, StarCraft 2 story is legitimately great. Go check it out. Never once.
I think I've seen someone do that in this. So
really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man!
I have memories. I couldn't tell you who because it was years ago, and it was rarer than a unicorn on a blue moon. But you know.
Yeah, like one time in the 10-year history of the game, 12-year history of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like the campaign mostly because it's fun. And the campaign missions are pretty interesting a lot of the time. Sometimes they get repetitive, but the different upgrades you can get for the units, and they give you immortals with splash. Like, what else do you want in your whole life, right?
Right. Like, the Legacy of the Void campaign is mechanically very enjoyable. A lot of the episodes, each of the levels change things up more or less as they go, right? Like, I feel like they really really kicked it out of the knocked it out of the park is the phrase, not kicked it, because you don't kick in baseball. But as far as I'm aware,
You
like
can. It's not against the rules. It's just really ineffective.
someone throws a 100-mile fastball at you and you're gonna kick it. I don't think so.
No, but like there's some crazy highlights of a ball that's like the player hits it and it's kind of bouncing, right?
Yeah.
And someone can't quite scoop it with their glove and they just like knock it off their foot like a back kick.
Oh, okay.
And it goes like to the first baseman. It's an out. I mean, that it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens very, very rarely, and it's very cool when it does. Anyway, yes.
Anyway, like I was saying, I can still remember the the level in Legacy of the Void where you're on like a moving platform and you've got to like direct it around to the minerals, and it's just like build carriers, and like it's very different from like any of the other levels I feel like in StarCraft that you play.
Yeah.
Like, so
yeah, agreed.
I do recommend playing StarCraft 2 for the fun. A sentence that's never been said on ladder, but the campaign definitely a lot of fun.
It is, and it's nice that they gave you, a lot of different difficulty levels.
Yeah.
Because Brood War's like, here's the game, man. Figure it out. It was 1998. It was a different time. But yeah, if you're not a gamer, you're not into it, you don't care about StarCraft 2, you don't want to have to learn how to play it correctly or anything, all right? Just play it on easy mode and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll manage.
You're gonna have fun with Zerglings that can jump up on cliffs.
Yeah, Zerglings jumping up cliff.
Imagine that in ladder. Like every upgrade would just break ladder forever.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of a single one that wouldn't just like ruin the game.
That's an interesting question.
Like I'm going through the list in my head. I'm like, turrets that do twice as much damage. Yep, that would break it. Medics that can heal 2 targets at once. Yep, that's real bad.
Yeah, I literally like everything would just utterly ruin that game. Yeah.
Right. And that's why it's fun.
Blizzard at some point is going to shut down the servers and be like, well, we've tried starving the esports. It's just not working. Like, let's just kill the game directly. And for like the last week, they should enable all of the campaign upgrades into ladder.
With no announcement.
Yeah, no patch notes, no nothing. Everyone has to discover.
Terran's like, my buildings are on fire and they're putting themselves out. What's happening? That was always one of my favorite upgrades in the campaign.
Yeah.
Oh. Have you seen this whole thing with different StarCraft streamers releasing their own patch notes?
No.
So Winter did it and Nathanius did one in response.
Okay, got a like.
And what's funny about both of them is it's like, it's not obviously a joke.
Oh,
like you think of both those, right?
I think I've seen someone like GGE Mini or sorry, that's the meme name, Gemini. Maynard calls him GGE Mini in Twitch chat just to piss him off. Yeah, I think I've seen Gemini or like nice username do this kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
And it definitely looks real until like the very last one is like Protoss has been removed or something.
Right,
or, like,
but both
removed.
Yeah. For example, yeah, I don't know. It's just I can't quite tell if they're jokes or not. Here, Nathanius did his today, so it'll be easier to find.
Send me his.
Dun, 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 dun. Saw some StarCraft 2 noobs posting their balance patches recently. Of course, these kids have no idea how to avoid their own biases, so I prepared the ultimate StarCraft patch. See, like with that, I'm like, okay, it's a joke, but then I'm looking at it and I'm like,
that's not a bad idea.
I don't. There's nothing in here that's like banelings are gone, right? Well, I lied. The last one is swarm hosts are now giant banelings. So you're right. So that one's a joke, but the rest of it's like.
Like, you know what? On the first line, I can actually get on board on reducing supply per build time from
Yeah,
12 seconds.
exactly.
I mean, the Reaper would arrive at your base 3 seconds faster, and as someone who often skips lings, I would hate that. But I mean, I can get on board. Just make Reapers build 3 seconds longer. It'll balance.
There you go. So
Uh,
ghost steady targeting
reduced.
can't be
Oh, but it can't be
damage
interrupted.
reduced, but it can't be interrupted. And it's like
I mean, that,
ghosts are pretty good against everything Lick Aim Zerg as it is
mhm.
with steady targeting. I don't know if we need to make that any better, but
Then
I don't know. I get it, you know.
advanced ballistics removed from the fusion core, so it'll just be on the tech lab, or just like removing it from the game. Because
I think they just removed it and just gives Liberators the ability, the transformation servos upgrade on the next line. So we're trading range for a faster transformation time into and out of defender mode.
Well, I mean, advanced ballistics should be removed from the game, not for the fusion core. Because I assume if you remove it from the fusion core, you're moving it to somewhere else. But yeah.
Oh, maybe he just means removing the fusion core requirement for advanced ballistics.
Oh yeah, 'cause
it's not on the fusion core. It's on the tech lab, but you need a fusion core for it.
I thought it was on the tech on the fusion core. To the Googles.
I know. This is embarrassing.
Well, neither of us play a lot of Terran.
It is on the fusion core. Okay, that's right.
So it might just be moving it to the tech lab, but
maybe
if he is trading it out for lib siege time, that maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so all this feels doable, but then the last one's obviously a joke. But I don't know.
I mean, he's buffing lurker range with seismic spawns.
Right.
Yeah. Vipers have a 1 second delay after casting Abduct before the same Viper can cast it again. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they can only do it like twice before they're out of energy.
Yeah. Queens don't regenerate HP off creep. I don't know if that even matters. Like, never once have I been like, man, that Zerg passive regeneration is so good.
That would be that's specifically targeting Queen Walks.
It is. Yeah. I get that. But what keeps the Queens alive is not their passive regen. It's Transfuse.
Well, no, but Transfuse applies a regen buff. If you don't regen at all, you can't transfuse.
Oh, is that what they meant? Yeah, maybe he did mean transfuse.
I mean,
what he meant to say was Queens no longer transfuse off creep.
No. I think they can still transfuse other units, but transfusing each other, they wouldn't get any benefit. Because a transfuse applies, I think it's like 20 hit points, and then it's like a buff that heals them over time, which I assume would negate that. So Queens just can't sit there healing each other through damage.
I mean, probably that's what he means, but it's not written clearly enough.
Right, no.
Yeah, he did say seismic spines. Actually, that's a nerf, because it upgrades lurker range to 9.5 instead of 10.
Oh, I misread that. Yeah.
Right, that's what I figured.
I read it as lurker range to from 9.5 to 10. So it is a slight nerf, but like a half a meter, like half a unit even. It's not even a meter.
Yeah. So I've read the Swarm Host one a few times, and I don't quite get what even he's talking about.
Swarm Hosts are now giant
banelings. What?
250 AoE plus 250 versus buildings. Spawn Locust is replaced with a long-range launch ability. Swarm Host can be shot down while in flight. I mean, that was always. This ability will end with the Swarm Host exploding and cannot be cancelled.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's envisioning.
Okay. So what I take from this is Swarm Hosts are now, instead of firing Locusts, they literally turn themselves into mortar cannons and they fire themselves.
They just like jump.
Yeah. But long range launch ability, I don't know how long they're expecting that to be, but it says like Swarm Host can be shot down while in flight. Tells me he's thinking long range, like BC
like tank
jump
range or something. Oh, BC jump range is infinite. So
as long as you have vision, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I have to ask him.
What do the comments say? Yeah. Nobody's asking these questions. Like, can we remove interference matrix? Somebody says. Who cares about interference matrix? I've never seen anyone complain about that spell ever.
When you just have.
Yeah, apparently I guess. Oh, I guess Protoss complaining about their like Colossus getting disabled. That's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a Protoss complaining about that. Never mind. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, yeah, but you can see what I'm talking about. Like, it's reasonable stuff, but he's treating it like a total joke. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2022 is weird.
Well, I mean, it's Nathanius. Things he takes seriously, he treats like a total joke. So total joke things he treats seriously. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. Just gotta speak his language. Yeah,
Yeah.
reasonable.
It's weird.
Yeah, super weird. Anyway, I thought that was fun because not a whole lot else is going on in StarCraft 2 right now.
It's true. Yeah. There aren't even like
Actually,
any tournaments or anything going. I mean, I know Katowice is coming,
yeah.
right? It's like
His
February.
last chance is before
Let's
Katowice,
have a
though.
look when last chances. It's tomorrow. No.
The 11th.
It's the 11th, so it's like 6 days. It's about a week away.
Ooh, that's good. That's coming
Yeah.
up. And then Katowice is in February, right? Yeah, February 19th.
Oh, I think I have time off for that already.
Ooh, excellent.
I think.
So is Katowice just the de facto 2021 World Championship again? Because we don't have that anymore?
Yes, Katowice is still considered to be the world champion.
Wikipedia says it's known as the Masters Championship 2022. All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Masters champ. Well,
It's the final tournament of the ESL Pro Tour 2021-2022, known as the Masters Championship 2022.
Right. I mean, I don't like that because BlizzCon was called BlizzCon World Championship, and if it has world in it, you know that person's the world champion. This technically doesn't define someone as the world champion, just a champion.
Well,
which
then
is
what
like,
does?
well, winning a world championship, right? We've all agreed that this is the de facto world championship, which is why when Reina won it, or who won it last year, Dark, that they are considered world champion status, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But if you try to say Rainer's a world champion, people are like, oh,
no.
Is he?
Yeah, no.
They say.
No one does that. Reina's a world champion. You can tell those people to fuck off.
I will. So Omicron says, fuck right off.
Exactly. You don't get to be a world championship just because you won a GSL or... hold on, I actually have this screenshotted from when you... in my mind, you absolutely lost your mind one night. I think I still have this screenshot because I'm going to come back to this at some point. Yeah.
Excellent.
You don't get to be a world champion just because you won Season 1 of Codas or... What else did you say? 2015, 2014. Just winning a GSL does not make you a 3-time world championship. Zest, sorry.
Yeah, I don't see why that's crazy, but...
Because winning a GSL doesn't make you a world champion.
Yeah, that's what I said. Is that not what I said?
No, you argued it did.
Oh.
You were like, Zest won a GSL and there's global in the title and all the best players in 2014 were in Korea. He's basically a world champion.
Was it? Okay, so there's GSL, but then there's like season finals GSL.
Season final GSL is just GSL. That's what they called it.
All right, whatever. I don't care. Moving on.
Yeah.
You were probably right.
Yeah. Probably.
Mm-hmm. Right. So last chance is named that because, again, obviously it's the last chance to get points and try to qualify for Katowice.
Yes, it is.
I wonder how many people are like on the edge there. That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so if you take first, you get 450 points. Will that move anyone? Is that enough to move anyone up? Potting and SOS, I think, are like the only...
They're right there.
Yeah, judging by the looks of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I'm down.
But at the same time...
neither of those players are winning.
Right. Maybe special if I'm reading these points right. So basically, if you take first, maybe you get to go up.
You have to take... I mean, having to take first is like...
That's a
tall ask, man. Yeah.
That's the problem with the last chance tournament is, well, all the players who won anyway are likely to win. But we have groups. We can go through groups if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we do. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Group A, Rogue Zest, Time, Elaser.
Mm.
It's a pretty easy Rogue Zest.
Yeah.
I mean, Time's TVZ is good, but Rogue is Rogue, so...
Right. Well, Times TVT might be fantastic. There's no other Terrans in that group.
TVZ.
Oh, TVZ, excuse me.
He gives players like Cyril a tough time pretty constantly, so...
Really?
Yeah, he's good. It's man, I cast other stuff from him, like his TVP's like, eh. And his TVT's like, it's okay, but man, his TVZ, he's everywhere. I don't know how it's like so much his best matchup. Anyway.
I wonder if we're close enough to IEM that Rogue's going to be hiding builds. I won't mind dropping a couple games to him then.
Could do.
Like, he might not be playing serious, kind of taking a break before the... Maybe. It's an option. Group B, Maru, Reynor, Hero Marine, and Ragnarok. Rip Ragnarok.
Yeah. Sorry, kid.
Sorry, yeah. Maybe next year. Hope
Right.
Maru goes to the military.
I think Hero Marine could make it out. He's taken maps off Raynor recently.
Maps
in
or games?
Premier, in ESL. What?
Like maps?
Is that not the same thing?
No, well, if it's a best of 5 and you take 2 maps, that's wonderful. I still took 3 and I move on. Right?
Yeah.
Did he take the map or did he win the match? Like, is he taking maps or is he winning matches? I
still think those are interchangeable.
No.
He hasn't He hasn't taken 3 games out of 5 against Raynor, no.
Okay.
But so he's taken 2.
He's taken a couple maps off him.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which means you're close.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
Sure.
If he ends up beating Raynor in this and taking 3 maps or taking 2 in their little best of 3s, I won't be like utterly shocked by that because he's playing really well. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. I've heard argue.
All right. Yeah, Rip Ragnarok. Group C, Clem, Dark, Solar, Max Packs. That's kind of a fun group, actually.
Kind of. I don't see Solar getting out, and I still don't respect Max Packs.
That's fair.
I mean,
he's getting a lot better.
Everyone says he gets a lot better, and he's had some good results. But I'm still just like, he's the cheese guy, though. Like, it's the problem with having a build named after you. It's all I can associate now.
No, that's fair. It's entirely fair.
Yeah. So Clem Dark.
Yeah. I mean, this is about as far as Solar gets in these, right?
Yeah.
he has such a hard time getting into the playoffs and premier tournaments in the last like 5 years.
Rip Solar. Group D, Cyril, Cure, Dream, and DRG. There's only 2 Protoss in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Freaking Zergs, man.
That's what happens when Stats leaves, right?
True, yeah.
Where's Trap?
Did Trap go
What
military?
happened to Trap?
Did Trap go military? No?
I don't think so.
No, he couldn't because he's ranked 2 in the APT tournament. He's definitely not. So I think... Well, here's the thing. I was going to say maybe if you've qualified for Katowice, you can't play, but Rogue's here, and Rogue's killing it on the points. Like, he's number 1.
Right. So what did he just...
Is there a Asia
There was an Asia qualifier.
Did he just not get through? He didn't play.
Oh my gosh, this bracket is so big. Is he not in here?
No. Oh, hold on. There's more.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he lost to Ragnarok.
So, Ragnarok 2-0'd? What? Remember when we were like, Rip Ragnarok?
Right, exactly.
He just 2-0'd the number 2 player in the points.
Yeah. Huh.
What? Reevaluating a couple things. Well, he doesn't have any Protoss to kill in Group B, so still Rip Ragnarok, I guess. I don't know, man.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man, Trap. Rest in peace, dude.
So we're thinking.
Well, so that's why. It's because Zerg is overpowered.
Of course, yes. Zerg is OP.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, really. Group D, we're thinking Cyril Cure. Any hope for DRG?
No. No. I love DRG, but no.
No. Fair enough. There's nothing more to say.
Yeah. Should be fun, though.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Are these at decent times? Dude, these are at 7 a.m. That's doable.
It's 1 a.m.
That's doable for
I mean, it's doable, but it depends on whether or not I'm working.
Yeah.
Which, judging by the day, yeah, I'll be working.
Ah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll call in sick. I shouldn't.
No, no.
I can't. Man, the grand finals is gonna be at like almost 4 a.m. This will be like 10 o'clock in the morning for you.
I know, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the best time a premier tournament's been on for the US in months at this point.
Since BlizzCon ended.
Maybe. There's been so many 3 a.m. start times for these. We've talked about this, but it is the worst possible time.
Mhm.
Like 4 a.m. is okay. I could wake up
early.
crazy early.
Uh-huh.
And like 2 a.m.'s like, oh, might as well just stay up all night. But 3 a.m.'s like, what is 3
Yeah.
a.m.?
Too late to stay up, too early to get up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Anyway, glad it's back. It is. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
What else have you been experiencing recently?
I've gone back and started re-listening to like some old podcasts, and by old I mean like 13 years, so not like in internet terms, it's prehistoric.
Ancient, yeah.
But they keep talking. This is the Rooster Teeth podcast back when it's called the Drunk Tank podcast. They keep talking about something in cinema that really kind of disappeared, and I want you to think back to like 2008 and what would have been big in cinema that is like no longer around.
Is that when Avatar came out?
That is roughly when Avatar came out. Yeah,
Is that what we're talking about?
the 3D. Yeah,
I'm so smart.
You
Look at
got it.
me.
Yeah,
I nailed it first try.
they're all talking about how
Because I was like,
Avatar's-
everybody in the world saw Avatar, and then we stopped talking about it instantly.
Yeah, Avatar and its implementation of 3D technology in movies.
Yeah, and everybody was like, 3D is the new thing, and they had 3D TVs, and
Mhm.
every movie had 3D.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
3D option. Yeah, and that's just absolutely disappeared.
I think my local cinema does offer a 3D option, but I'm not sure who
Really?
uses it.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I saw a movie with the option of like, do you want to watch this in 3D?
Let me check something out real quick here. God, No Way Home has made so much money.
Has it?
It is currently the third highest grossing MCU film, which is bonkers.
Yeah, that's.
So my local cinema calls it Real D 3D.
Yeah, that's the type that was popularized by James Cameron, I believe.
So my eyes can't do 3D because I don't have stereoscopic vision, so I've never bothered to try it out.
Right.
But yeah, no, my theater has Real D 3D options all the time. It's never
Really?
advertised though.
Really?
The ads are never like, check out Spider-Man in 3D, or like even the theater's not like, check out our 3D movies. It's just an option on the website. Maybe no one actually uses it, and they're just like, I don't know, just keep it up, I guess.
I can't imagine anyone's watching that. I remember when it did come out, the cinema I go to would hand out the 3D glasses, like these real 3D glasses, which are like black lenses. They're not like the goofy red and blue ones anymore. And
Right.
they would expect you to hand them back in at the end of the theater, at the end of the movie.
Yeah, right.
Everyone just walked out with them. Right. So eventually, I think they had it got to a point where they're like, "Yeah, we're showing 3D movies. We don't have enough glasses if it sells out."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Aki saw Doctor Strange in 3D. When did Doctor I mean, years ago, but like
8 years.
So
6.
It's not. You can't just take a regular movie and make it 3D. You have to film it with 3D in mind,
theoretically,
right? With special equipment and stuff.
2 cameras slightly offset or something.
Why are they bothering to do this?
I don't know. I actually imagine that a lot of the Marvel movies, because they're so CGI heavy, you could basically just have a lot of the action scenes be 3D and like without needing to film the rest of the movie like that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
That must be what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's effort. It's extra effort. And who like nobody's like, man, Spider-Man was great, but you got to see it in 3D. It's so much better. Nobody says that.
Yeah, nobody says.
Why are they still doing it? All right.
Don't know.
Because you're right, it totally fell off.
Yeah. But it was just one of the like I went back and started listening to these episodes, and sure enough, I was just like, they're all talking about how Avatar's gonna redefine cinema. I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah.
No. I mean, I did the 3D glasses thing, right?
Mhm.
That you were talking about for Avatar, because I was like, I don't know, maybe this new kind of 3D, my eyes will work with it. No, it did
Nope.
not. It was
No.
it was a bad experience in the theater because everything was just all sorts of fuzzy.
Right.
But yeah, I gave my money to Avatar, so
Mm-hmm.
that was part of the problem.
Did you like the movie?
It's Fern Gully.
It's
It's
Gully.
Pocahontas,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a very bland story with bland characters I did not care about. There's not a single character in that film that I care about.
No.
I don't know any of their names.
Mm-hmm. Jake, I think.
Oh, that sounds right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
James Cameron's making 3 more of these things.
Is he? He's
Yeah.
been talking about it for a while. It hasn't happened yet.
The next one's like slated to come out this year, I think. Let me quote that. Avatar 2 is 2022. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling about this right now. Believe it when I see it, James Cameron.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, if it's just going to be more spectacle with no good story or characters behind it, then why? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not something I'm interested in.
Yeah. That's just,
Yeah.
the ending of that movie really pisses me off because it's like the tribesmen let the invading humans evacuate on their spaceships. It's like they have spaceships. They're just gonna go to orbit, then nuke you, and then come back and do their mining operation. You can't just like let them leave on their goddamn spaceships.
You make a legitimate point, but you can't have your morally good race
Be like
execute like millions of people in cold blood.
Right? Yeah. No, you can't be
Yeah.
like, well, these are the good guys, and they're gonna do genocide. That's gonna be great. No.
Genocide to protect themselves is like, yeah, we hear that a lot from people who do genocide.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's equally valid point, but it doesn't make the actual ending any better.
No, it's still a major problem.
Yeah.
Once again, the focus of that movie is not writing under any circumstances. 0%. It is visuals. You're supposed to go in and turn your brain off, and that's it. You enjoy it and go home.
The problem is when they showed up for filmmaking, they also turned their brains off. I feel.
For what? For filmmaking? What do you mean?
Yeah, well, they made a story without thinking. Like, it's a shit.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, totally.
Great. These jokes are way better if you have to explain them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. You've seen the thing. This is probably so old now, but somebody just took the plot from Pocahontas, like typed it out, and then just like crossed out words and replaced like Jake, and like crossed out the white man with like humans.
Right.
And it's all the same. Yeah.
Wow.
It's very white savior too, which is annoying. Like these natives couldn't have possibly helped defend themselves in any way until a single white man arrived, and now they can win. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
It's like on paper, the plot point reads as like, well, the natives received crucial information that they didn't have from an expert, and then on paper that sounds fine, right? Like there's a traitor or something, and then it's no, but you're forgetting that these two sides, it's species level, and the white man kind of doesn't come off great here, like when you look at it.
Right.
No, it doesn't work in the way that it should when dealing with two equally leveled playing field like side teams. All right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I do. I know what you mean.
Thank you.
I know what you mean, Vern. Yeah. So there are some problems,
Mhm.
but anywho,
Anywho,
I'm not gonna go see it.
no, I probably won't. Or
I'm curious how it's gonna do.
yeah, I mean,
Like, how many people are gonna be like, "Oh, I did remember seeing Avatar back in 2008, and I never thought about it again. I want to go to the sequel now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see if it comes back and recaptures the attention of the world again.
I don't.
I don't think it should, right?
Right,
But I mean, people are idiots.
they are.
Yeah. Oh well. We
Oh well.
we about done here?
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead and wrap this up.
I think we're at time. There was one other thing. 86 continues to be good.
Okay.
Just a weekly update on that one. That's all.
Okay. When I
It hasn't quite ended.
when I eventually come back to watching anime, I'll have to check it out.
Right. I mean, when it's done, you're not going to start watching it before it's done anyway. So,
I mean, that's mostly true.
right.
It's not entirely true. It's mostly true.
Fair. All right. Great stuff then. I think
Cool.
that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us for another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. You can find us anywhere you get podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Somicron and on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm. All
You
true
just search
facts.
for the Falcon Paladin Hour or just search for Somicron's channel.
Mm.
And you can support the podcast directly by going to patreon.com/Somicron and the store, falconpaladin.store, for all of your merch needs. And until next time, as always, thanks for hanging out. And until next time, as always, stay safe and stay healthy. And above all, please take care of yourselves.
Bye.
Goodbye.